I'm fed up. I'm going to tell you what I think is going on with this housing market. And if you're here like to look for the doom and gloom and you're hoping that I'm going to tell you there's a housing crash, I'm not. So if you are looking for that information, like you want to know if there's a crash happening, I suggest you go look at those other creators on this platform because you're not going to get it here. I'm going off on a rant today. I am. And the reason being is that I'm seeing these comments on my channel that people have given up. They feel like they'll never own a home. That's it. They're just never going to have the opportunity to buy a home, and they're fed up with it. And it bothers me because there are millions of people that need homes. They need homes. And what's going on in this market right now, we have never seen this in our entire history. I believe it has never happened before. So I understand the frustration of a lot of these buyers. And look, I'll be honest with you, as a real estate agent, am I having a stellar year? Absolutely not. I mean, it's not like the prior years where I've done fairly well for myself. No, it's a really slow year. And look, I signed up for this. I know the housing market ebbs and flows. I totally understand it. And I expected that going into this. So the positive is I've been able to spend a lot more time researching data and great topics to present to you guys to help keep you guys informed during this insane market. So there's that positive note. Is it tough to buy a home right now? Yes, it is. Is it impossible? It's not impossible, but it's definitely more challenging. But I will tell you, the housing market is not going to crash. It's not. Now, you know, I come on here on a monthly basis to share the market updates, and I always refer to articles that tie back to Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com. Sometimes CoreLogic is thrown there too. When you look at all these different companies and what their analysts are saying, you do get conflicting information. So now Zillow is saying that they're predicting home prices are going to increase for the rest of the year, rest of 2023, and they're going to increase by 5%. And that's due to the lack of inventory. I can get behind Zillow. I know you guys are all thinking like, oh my God, you actually like Zillow now. Still don't love Zillow for other reasons, but I will say their analysts are kind of getting spot on with the information they're putting out there. Now, Realtor.com, their prediction for the rest of 2023, they're predicting a price decline of 0.6%. Not much of a decline. I mean, to me, that's flat. But the beginning of the year, Realtor.com said there was going to be a 5.4% increase in prices by the end of 23. So what happened? Well, what they're doing is they're taking into account all of those bigger markets, like in Phoenix, Boise, Austin, and parts of California, the ones who saw the biggest price declines, they're including those price declines in their analysis. And so they're coming up with this 0.6% decline. But here's the thing. Now that those prices have come back down in those markets, do you think they're going to stay low? They're going to crash even more? Probably not, because now they're becoming a little more affordable. And now there's going to be multiple offers again on these lower homes. Do you see where I'm going with this? So the few homes that are coming on the market that are in the lower price range, I'm hearing, I was just following a creator who services the Phoenix area, and there are still multiple offers going on out in Phoenix. Now let's go on to Redfin. Redfin forecasted there was going to be a 4% decline in prices by the end of 2023. Okay. Now this is back in January when they said this. Now the reports are showing the opposite. So the most recent one that they put out was in the month of May that we saw the lowest inventory ever in this country. And that's kind of a scary thing that there's very little homes for sale. But is it causing that 4% decline? No, it's not. The buyer demand is still there. It's still there. Even with interest rates hitting 7%, buyers are still out there. There are millions of people that still need to get into a home. These three sources right here, they're giving you conflicting information. So who do we believe? What I say to people is you got to look at your local data. Look at your local markets. If you want to buy a home, you talk to that local realtor to see exactly what is going on in that market and where are the prices right now. Are they falling or are they rising? I can tell you even in markets like here in New Jersey, despite interest rates being at 7%, prices increased in the month of May around about 4%. They did. They're still going up. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, to be honest with you, because of the lack of inventory. So what do I think is going on with this market? It's still going to be an issue for buyers, and it's not going to crash. If anything, right now, it's probably going to remain stagnant. It's going to remain stagnant until we get more inventory. That's the only thing that's going to cure this issue. We have to get more houses. Interest rates, if they come back down, that doesn't mean a damn thing. It does not. Because once those interest rates come back down again, that you're all hoping for, what is that going to do? It's going to bring back all those buyers who've been waiting on the sidelines, waiting for those rates to come back down, only to go back and bid on these homes again, bid on the homes and drive the prices up even further. The only way this will be resolved is if we get more homes. Now, speaking of resources, I want to share one thing with you. I was just recently made aware of a guy you need to follow on Twitter, and I just learned this from another fellow creator here on YouTube who mentioned this guy. His name is Logan Mutchami. Logan Mutchami is an analyst for The Housing Wire, which is a publication that talks about the housing market. And I have to say, I do rely on The Housing Wire a lot to get my up-to-date information about the market. I highly, highly recommend that if you are on Twitter, you follow Logan Mutchami. He speaks the truth and he challenges those people out there that are saying that the market's going to crash, and they're showing all these graphs saying that it's, the sky is falling, prices are coming down. And he goes back and he counters them, and he's pretty spot on in his information. So look at this tweet right here. I love this tweet that he put out there. He's talking about between 2012 and 2023 and talking about the reasons that the market was going to crash. So this market crash stories have been going on since 2008 because that was a serious thing. We had a major crash back then, but the news has to keep pumping that and putting that out there saying that, oh yeah, the housing market's going to crash, just to get people freaked out. So this tweet he put out here, he wrote, each year is different, but here are some reasons they gave for home prices to crash over the past 11 years. So in 2012, they said it was a shadow inventory. 2013, higher mortgage rates were going to crash the market. 2014, QE ending in October. Don't know what QE means. I have to do a little more research on that. 2015, the manufacturing recession was going to cause a housing crash. 2016, home prices got back to the bubble high. So the home prices were going to crash again. Did it happen? No. 2017, he writes, no good reason. In 2017, they were just saying home prices were going to crash, but they didn't have a reason. In 2018, 5% mortgage rates, start of the bubble crash for sure. 2019, home price growth was cooling off. That was going to cause the housing prices to crash. In 2020, COVID-19 was going to cause the housing prices to crash. We all know what happened there. Did that happen? No, it did not. In 2021, they were saying the mortgage forbearance was going to cause housing prices to crash. Didn't happen. 2022, the 7% mortgage rates were going to cause the housing crash. Oh, no, 7% interest rates is not stopping anybody from buying a house. Doesn't mean anything. Now, in 2023, the historically low housing demand is going to cause the crash. No, it is not. It is not. So this guy, I highly recommend. You got to follow him. You got to follow him on Twitter. I'm going to be following him from now on, and I'm going to be actually pulling information from him and seeing what he's saying about the market, because I'm just so tired of the negative. I'm so tired of all the negative. I really am. You want to get a house. You don't want to overpay for a house. But look, guys, the reality is this is what we are in right now. Unless, the little caveat here is if there's a major economic downfall, that I think would be the only way it's going to make these housing prices to come down. What do you all think about this? I would love to hear your comments. Let me know. I'd really appreciate to hear what you have to say, because my opinion could mean nothing to you. But if you have one, go ahead, share it. But be nice. Always be nice on my channel, please. I don't want people fighting. I don't like arguments. Let's have a friendly conversation about that. So always go back to your local resources, or like check out this guy Logan on Twitter to really understand what's going on with the housing market. Don't get sucked into these negative headlines that you're seeing and just to think that the housing market's going to crash, because it's not. It's not, guys. So the whole purpose of my channel is to be real with you and to give you your dose of real estate reality. Thank you for coming here today to get your dose of that. My name is Jackie Baker, and I will see you next time.